Yep, it's me, Jenny B, and I am doing dual forms with Polygel, try number 2. So I have my lovely little model, my hand from beauty school. So yep, it came in handy, dug it out of my Halloween stash. I have my little double-ended brush again. That brush is great, it's a little spatula on one end, brush on the other. I have my dual forms already sized up for my lovely model's fingers. Yes, I had to give her a hand wash because she was in my Halloween supplies. So here's the polygels that I'm using. It's 2 random ones out of my stash. And we are attempting this again. So if you're doing this on a real person, make sure you prep. I like to use that Car Lash Nail Prep and Max Bond. Obviously, I don't need to on it this hand since it is fake. I am not worrying about it lasting or lifting. So the Beauty base coat is what's going on the nails first to prep the nails for the polygel. I do like that Beauty brand. Seems to be doing good. I played with it a few times, and yeah, I like that brand a lot. So that base gel is very nice. I put it on each of the fingers and put it in the little lamp for 30 seconds. Doesn't take much for the base coat. And we're rolling. It is starting. Yep. Patiently waiting. Let's see. I got all my stuff. I have a new little stand, a little acrylic stand there in the middle to help me stay in focus. I ordered these clips off Amazon. As you can see, they go on the fingers to help hold the dual form on the fingers when you're doing it on yourself. So we'll see how that works. This is the first time I'm playing with those. So I got a bunch of them in a pack. So it was pretty cheap on Amazon. My lovely Amazon addiction. It is real. So I got my hand. I'm prepping. Grab my first little dual form. And we're going to start rolling. So let's see. There's my little polygel. So I'm prepping everything. Okay, so I got my brush. I got the dual form. And we're going to put the polygel onto the spatula side. And whoop, I remembered to put myself in camera view. So I'm starting it a little off the edge. So it seems to be a better spot. So you have a thicker spot more at the apex of the nail than the tip or where the cuticle is. So I'm just spreading it out. The slip solution makes it so it's not sticky. The polygel itself is really sticky, but it maneuvers really well. So I've been liking using this product. I did do it on some nail tips on my own hands and it worked really well. So I was very happy with that. And here we go. We're putting it on the finger. So I've learned from many, many videos to not apply too much pressure to where the nail bed is, otherwise the stuff squeezes out. So here I am attempting my little clip thing. It just fits on there fairly nicely. And then I flip the hand over and make sure the bottom is nice and smooth. Getting the angle right with that hand is kind of awkward, but it works. It works. So I'm making sure everything is nice and smooth underneath. A little slip solution on the brush helps to let you maneuver the product better. And everything looks good, so it goes under the lamp. And if it's about, I do it about 60 seconds for each finger. And I'm checking everything out. So far, so good. Hard to tell with the dual form on it, but I go on to the next finger. So here we go, another dual form. More polygel. It's a little hard to squeeze out. And I'm putting enough in the dual form is really the trick. So I put some in there. This one gets like everywhere. That's fun, but you know, I like to make a mess. So who knows? Just shove it all back into that dual form and I get rolling. So here we go. Keep putting my stuff in the slip solution so it doesn't stick all over the brush. And I maneuver it around. So just spreading it out. You want a little bit thinner where the cuticle is and a little bit more at the apex of the nail. And trying to get the right thickness is just trial and error, honestly, from what I've figured so far. So I'm spreading it out, making sure it fits on the dual form nicely, making sure it's not too lumpy on the end. And I have a little too much, so I'm scraping it out. The nice thing about Polygel is it doesn't harden until you put it inside the lamp. So, which is nice. You can take your time. It doesn't matter. So here I go. I'm putting it on another finger. You just want it to be, you want to be on there good, but you don't want to squeeze it on. I'm trying one of those little clippy things, but I think the nail keeps moving. So I was having a fun old time with that finger. So as you can see, the nail kept sliding around. So it's just not working. So I ended up taking it off and make sure everything's nice and smooth and not lifted too much. And I just hold it under the lamp. But I first look underneath to make sure everything's nice and smooth underneath the nail, because it's not very fun to try to file underneath there. So I hold it with my finger about 10 seconds, and then it's on there enough so you can let go of it and let it cure the rest of the time. So I just sit and wait, and there we go. It's good. I'm checking everything. It looks on there pretty well. So I put it back in and let it cook. So my hand's in there making sure that the dual form is on there nicely. This is the second attempt. If you saw my first video with doing dual forms and polygel, you'll know it did not go well. So go to my channel and look it up if you haven't. And yep, it was an experience, but I like the way the polygel on the dual forms look, so I'm going for it again. So here we go. I got another dual form and some polygel, and I spread it around. So, which is nice, doing it on the fake hand. I don't have to wait until I have my hand back, because it's not my hand I'm doing it on. Haha! So here it is. It's done. I finished with the little dual form. Trying to maneuver it. Little tiny thing with some sticky stuff in it isn't fun, but hey, it works. And it's getting easier. Each finger was felt a little bit better playing with it. So that is nice, nice, nice. So here we go. I'm just moving the stuff around, making sure to fill the dual form with enough polygel. This finger, as you can see, I didn't put enough in there, which is nice looking back on the video because you can see exactly what you did wrong. It was awfully thin at the top. The middle was okay and the other side was okay, but the top was like super thin. I should have just added more polygel, but hey, learn in hindsight. See, you can practically see through that tip where my thumb is. So yeah, that's not good. You'll see the outcome. Just wait and see. So I'm still playing around. Looks like I'm making it thinner and thinner, but hey, whatever. You live and you learn. You know more for next time. Yes, yes, yes. So there we go. I hold the little dual form on my little fake hand, and we stick it under again. Oh, forgot the underneath. Checking the underneath is very important, so it's nice and smooth, and you don't have to sit there with the electric nail file and try to clean that all up. So there we go. So now I'm going to be taking some of the popping those dual forms off, and you just wiggle it, squeeze it, and wiggle it side to side, and it comes right off. And you can reuse those dual forms, which is nice. So far, so good. Look and everything. The underneath looked nice and smooth this time, which last time it was very bulky under there, and then the tips broke off. That wasn't fun. Not fun at all. No, no, it wasn't. So there we go. I'm checking it. They're feeling pretty good overall. That pinky is a little on the thin side, but it filed well, nothing cracked. And I would just, if it was on my hand, I would just put another layer of polygel over the top of that without using the dual form. But the shape was really nice. That next finger was a little bit better. One of the sides was a little too thin, but shaping it into a coffin shape, which is a little narrower on the sides, helps a lot. And it still looked good. Trying to stay on camera filing isn't fun, just so you know. And that middle one was just a little funky. It was way too thin. I'm still filing it, pretending like, yeah, I'll save it. It's on the fake hand, so I wasn't wearing it, so I didn't really care. But I still shaped it up. But we'll see how it turns out at the end. I don't know how well you can see on the camera, but it's very short and super thin. I kind of rounded it up, but then when I was playing with it after the video, yeah, the tip was way too thin. So I was able to crack it off like no problem. But that ring finger was a pretty good thickness, and the pinky was a little too thin, but the shape of the nail itself would turn out really good. So middle finger was a no-go, but hey, whatever. So here I go on the index finger. This is the last one I tried. I just did 4 nails on my little fake hand. And I put a good amount of polygel. I made a big mess, but I put a good amount on my little spatula thing there, which turned out to be really good. I made a huge mess. Look, it's like string everywhere, but it's pretty maneuverable. So I put it in my little dual form in the middle there. Get the bulk of the product in the middle of it, and then I spread it around, trying to get a good grip on it. It wasn't too fun, but it worked. It worked. So I'm spreading it out. This one, I felt like I had the right amount. It was perfect. Very, very well. This one turned out the best. So as you can see, I'm just spreading everything out. I have a good amount of the polygel in the form itself, which is fantastic because I'm able to spread it around. It spreads out to the whole dual form. So if I want to, do it myself, the length turns out to be very nice. It's very long, so probably a little too long for work, but I can always shorten them. So we'll see. I'll have to attempt it on myself soon. So look for that video coming eventually. I have things planned, so I don't know when I'll get to that one. But we are just going with it. I am moving that polygel around, spreading it around. It doesn't need too much slip solution. It was a pretty good polygel. So it wasn't too bad, a little sticky. So I wiped my extra off on a paper towel and make sure that the edges are all clean so I don't have a mess to deal with on the finger. And there we go. It looks pretty filled. Time to put it on the finger. So I just press it gently onto the finger. You don't want to squeeze. I didn't have too much coming on. I didn't have hardly anything coming out, squeezing out of the sides. So I felt that was very good. I didn't have too much pressure on it. So that works. So I have it holding it until I don't need to hold the little dual form anymore. Decide to put that little clip on because the angle's good. I check underneath. I forgot to do that. It wasn't in the light long enough to cure. So I just make sure the bottom is smooth while I can still maneuver it. And having it then underneath nice and smooth is what you want. You want a bunch of lumps under there. And not too bad. Not too bad. So I'm just making sure everything's nice and smooth. And putting it back under the light with the little clippy. The clips are pretty good. It looks like it just takes some practice to use them, but not too bad so far. So now I take the last one off. I sped through this process because who wants to see me filing and buffing forever? That takes a lot of time. So I'm just filing and shaping it. As you can see, that nail turned out beautiful. That was my favorite one. Yes, even my daughter liked that one the best. So I was pretty proud of it. You can see my little thumbs up. Yep, woohoo! So then I buff all the tops of them, making sure to get that shine off. And then I do that to all 4 of the nails. That one, nothing cracked, nothing, they were super strong. I was very pleased. Even my pitiful little middle finger there did not crack when I did all this filing to it. So it's stayed, all of them stayed intact. The middle finger, I broke the tip off when I was playing with it after filming, but that's because I was playing with it, seeing if I can break it off, and it broke off super easy. The other ones stayed nice and strong. Even the pinky that was a little too on the thin side didn't crack at all. So it was definitely a plus. I feel great about it now. So looking forward to trying it on my fingers in the near future. So yep, filing, cleaning everything up. Have my little handy nail brush, clean up all the dust, and then I do a nice little top coat, which is great. That Beauty brand again. And put that under the lamp for 120 seconds, I believe it was. And I clean everything up while it's under the lamp. So that slip solution, because it's mainly alcohol, it was great to clean up the brush. The brush wasn't sticky afterwards. I soaked the paper towel in the slip solution and cleaned up my brush and spatula. Put it all back together. It's ready for next time. I cleaned the dish up. And then with the towel that has the slip solution cleanser stuff, I clean everything up. So that was nice. And now my hand looks beautiful. So thank you for joining me in this process. I'm very pleased with how it came out. Don't forget to like this video. Give me a nice thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yes, do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!